Welcome back, guys, to another episode of AEW Dudes Podcast. This is where we're going to talk about the June 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite. How is it going, Mr. Ryan Tollefson?
Going pretty good. How's it going with you there, Mr. Greg?
It's going good. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I already used that one. You can't do it again.
I already used that. I used that joke last week.
That one has been copyrighted and it will be infringed upon.
All right. So, what did you before overall good, bad, ugly? What'd you think of the episode? Just to start off like really general.
I thought it was a solid episode. I didn't think it was as good as last week's, but last week was a really, really good episode. However, I think it was solid. How about you?
Yeah, same. I wasn't like totally impressed with it. I mean, well, okay. I didn't hate it, didn't love it, so it's kind of in the middle. But before we jump into the episode, I do want to make a show note, and that is that Ryan has officially started his new AEW news show and rumors. So that's going to be released. We're trying to get it pinned down, but he literally released it yesterday. But if you want to check that out, every week, probably during the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, he's going to release a AEW news and rumors show, probably 5 to 10 minutes long, depending upon how much news is in the week. And you can listen to that little snap bite of what's going on with AEW. How did you like it real quick of recording something like that? Did you? Yeah, I liked yourself?
It was my first time doing it. I'm going to try to obviously get it put out no later than Saturday or Sunday. Like you said, I want to get it out over the weekend, but yeah, it was a fun experience recording it. I'd never done it by myself, so that was fun.
No, you've definitely done it by yourself. You're shit, dude. Don't even joke like that. My nephew, can I say my nephew's listening to this podcast? I don't need him thinking those thoughts.
All right, so
let's get into the episode, man. Let me move. I can't even move. I have like so much equipment in my room, and I'm trying to read my notes, but like see our cam, whatever. Anyways, let's get into the episode.
Got purple lights and
that purple lightings look like that guy on NXT. What's his name? What's that guy?
What?
The Dream.
What guy in NXT are you talking about?
The Dream. What's his name?
Oh, Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, Velveteen Dream looked like that. Okay, anyways, let's get into the June 3rd episode.
All right.
All right. It started off with, you would think, a blockbuster of a match, which was Hangman Adam Page versus and Kenny Omega, so it was a tag team match, versus Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. What did you think of the match? And why don't you give us a little synopsis of what went on?
Yeah. I thought it was a good match. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. The match, from what I saw, was probably around 24, 25 minutes long. It wasn't bad by any means. I thought with these four guys, I thought that they would really just put on a 5-star match. And it was just, I don't know. I'd probably give it 3.5 stars. What would you have given it? What would your rating be?
3.5? I thought it's funny because I watched the show after you. I watched it on demand. I think you watched it live because you already had your notes up, and I was looking at the notes that you put in, and you kind of like said it was just okay. I thought it was better than okay. So I think, honestly, I feel like per your notes, I think you should give the score of like maybe like a 3 out of 10. But for me, I thought I would give it a 3.5 out of 10. I'm sorry, not 3.5 out of 10, 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, that is
horrific. Yes, no, what I should have. It was a decent match. But I feel like I thought it was a little bit better of a match than you. I did like when Penelope Ford interfered in the match. She ended up getting kicked out, which is interesting, seeing her get thrown out by the referee.
Yeah, they've been throwing out managers left and right recently.
Yeah, and then I know I wrote down the name of the match, but I mean the name of the finishing move by Kenny and Paige. Do you remember the name of their finisher?
Yes,
I wrote it down.
It took me a few weeks to remember it, but it is called the Last Call.
Last call.
Yeah, it's last call for alcohol.
That is, but don't call me late for dinner. That was I love that finisher. Obviously, Paige and Kenny did pull out the win, which was not surprising at all, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, their match with Best Friends, I'm assuming at Fyter Fest will be really just incredible. I've been looking forward to it for months now. So, well, how about you?
Have you really? You've been waiting for months.
I've been patiently waiting for months.
I've been so patient and really, I'm like a kid at Christmas time.
What about you? I mean, you got to be excited for this feud, though, right? Hopefully it's a feud and not maybe it's just one match.
Yeah, I'm so excited I can't stand up.
Then you don't move. I'll take it. Don't worry.
All right. Next we had Brian Cage versus Shawn Dean. Shawn Dean's a jobber, right? I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know him.
yeah. And I actually had to watch that match over again just to get his name because I didn't catch it the first time. I thought it was Lee Johnson again.
I don't honestly know if I love Taz as his manager. It's not awful, but it kind of feels a little bit cheesy. Like when his theme music, I forget what he says. Cage is the da, 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 da. What does he say? It just seems kind of cheesy.
It's like you must unleash the cage.
Yeah, it's kind of cheesy.
Something like that. Yeah, something really awful like that. Yeah. But I feel like Taz is a good mouthpiece though. So I think once Taz gets situated in that role, I think he will be significantly, I think he'll be better for sure.
I don't know if I've seen Brian Cage matches, but I haven't really in TNA or Impact, whatever they call it now. But I don't remember him really talking a lot. So I don't know how good or bad he is on the mic. Do you remember any of his mic work in TNA?
No, I don't. I'm assuming if they paired him with Taz right off the bat, then it can't be great, right? Because
but you would say that about Lance Archer, and I've actually heard the opposite in some other wrestling shows and podcasts that I've listened to. They say that Lance Archer actually is really good on the mic, but he's teamed up with Jake the Snake.
Well, you can tell. Yeah, you could tell. I don't know that situation. I think it was more though. Okay, well, we'll give Jake something to do, but also he's obviously a good mentor, for Archer, and he can also be a good mouthpiece. But yeah, Archer's, you could just tell he's significantly better on the microphone than, some of these other guys that have managers. But
right. But anyways, Cage once again completely dominated the match. You have in your notes, quick match. Cage wins after hitting the drill claw.
Yeah, that's the name of his, pile driver type finisher.
Sounds like what you want when you head into the underground neighborhoods.
Rare. Yikes.
And then Taz cut a promo at the end talking about John Moxley, laughing last week. And then Mox came out and cut a pretty good promo himself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I really liked this interaction between Taz and Moxley. The only thing is it seems to be I don't know how you felt about it, but I felt like the more that the match was going on, the more that promo was going on, it didn't seem to be about with Moxley as much as it seemed to be more between Moxley and Taz as opposed to Cage and Moxley. Does that make sense? So
nothing you say makes sense, actually.
It's a good point. I sure do try though.
Can you see Renato?
No, is he in the background?
He keeps peeking his little turtle head out. See it?
Is he doing crunches over there? What is he doing?
No, I had him on a side note, guys. You guys don't know who he is. He's actually a little person in LP. I do this 15-minute workout. I think I've sent you some photos and videos. It's like this hot little Asian girl lady. But it's a really good workout. It's like 15 minutes, high intensity. And he did it with me a couple of times and he won't do it again. What was my point? I don't even know why I'm telling you this. I don't know where I was going with that, but whatever. Anyways, next we had here's a segue. Lance, they cut into another promo, actually. Instead of going to another match, they cut into the Lance Archer promo. Give us a little tidbit.
Yeah, this was a good promo. I didn't understand. I mean, they're obviously trying to make Lance Archer this mysterious kind of character, but he was literally in what looked like almost a landfill attacking a wrestler. So it looked like Ray Phoenix, but I think it was someone else. But the promo itself was really good. Like you said, Lance Archer is good on the microphone. Jake the Snake didn't say one word in this promo. and he didn't need to because Lance Archer got the point across that, you know, one loss doesn't mean anything to him, and that he is there to destroy people. He had a quote in the promo saying, you know, he's not a quote spot monkey. He's there to be a monster. So that promo, I thought, got his message across, and I thought it was a very good promo.
Yeah, he's really good. I'm excited for what he brings.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what his next feud will be.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I want to say about this whole show, and we'll get more into the show, but it felt like there was like so many promotional videos. It felt like there was so many.
I noticed that too.
Like just promos themselves. Like there was a lot of promotion for like upcoming events and past events that have happened, past matches, past feuds. I don't know if they didn't have a lot to write about in terms of like they weren't sure how to direct the show, or they just wanted to build up more feuds and stuff like that, which is great because I think you need shows like that where you do show off a lot of promo packages and you show off a lot of just different things that connect the wrestlers together so that it feels more important. Did you said you noticed the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I that's funny that you brought that up. I meant to mention.
How come you're not laughing even though it's so funny?
I giggled a little. There was a chuckle there. Yeah, there was a chuckle or two. No, I noticed that. Yeah, it was. I almost felt like it was a. You know how they do those promotional shows like leading up to the pay-per-views, the road to, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I love
it almost seemed like one of those with a few matches thrown in. That's honestly why I thought it wasn't as good as last week. Last week had some really quality wrestling, where this week it's not that the wrestling wasn't good. It was just, yeah, I agree with you. Way more promos and way more promotional spots than there was last week. But
it didn't remind me of a WWE show where like when you watch WWE, like they just like stand in the ring and talk and stuff like that. It's a lot of, at least when they did these video interviews, they were like in different locations. I like that where they kind of changed that up a bit.
Oh, I totally agree.
And it's funny. So there was a match, and then there was a Lance Archer promo, and then there was sorry. So we had two matches. Then you had the Cage Taz Moxley promo. Then the next segment was a Lance Archer promo, and then after that, it was another promo with Private Party and Matt Hardy, which I liked. It was what did you think of that? The Private Party.
Yeah, I really like them a lot. They're another, team in the tag team division that I want to see more on Dynamite consistently. But yeah, this promo I thought was good. Matt Hardy is interesting because this was just Matt Hardy as opposed to, broken Matt Hardy, which it's interesting. They're just kind of, I don't know if they're going to continue to, just give us different versions of Matt Hardy.
I like that they're doing that. Like they're going through the different versions. And I wanted to talk about that because they actually brought up some stuff that I thought would have been copyrighted by WWE, and they wouldn't be able to say
about his brother.
That they said, well, that's his real name, I believe. So that's not really that big a deal. But they did say the Hardy Boys. They did say Team Extreme. Yeah. They even did the movements where they're like, they flap their arms and stuff like that. They did all of that. The Private Party I'm talking about did that right in front of Matt Hardy, and they did it, again, live on Dynamite. So I was kind of surprised that they were able to do that and not get in trouble. Because I know that Tony kind of listened to him on the podcast that they have, which is their Unrestricted podcast. And when he was on that, he was worried to say certain things about WWE because of copyright, and that's just a podcast. So that's what kind of surprised me about him or them being allowed to say all that stuff about the Hardy Boys. But overall, very cool segment. It was funny, and I liked that they towards the end there when Matt Hardy was walking back to wherever he was going, he ran into Sammy Guevara, and he's like, basically said he said respect because Sammy Guevara was in his little what do you call those? They're not wheelchairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have no idea what those things are called. They're not a scooter.
They're like modern day crutches. Basically, it's like you put your knee up on the little
and wheel yourself around.
Yeah, it's like crutch wheelchairs, crutch chairs, whatever you call it. I don't know what you would call it.
It's a crutch chair.
And then so again, we've gone through 3 promos in a row. We're not done with our promos. It was a Cody promo video after that. as well, and that showed off. I think that's in order because I know I put this one myself, I believe, and or maybe you put
you put the TNT titles ugly.
Dude, that TNT title is so fucking ugly.
Supposedly they said a Double or Nothing, and they said I don't know if they said last week, but they definitely mentioned a Double or Nothing a few times that they're still supposed to add gold to it, so it's not done yet.
Dude, it does look. They should just.
It looks really generic. Like the TNT could look way better. It looks
corny.
It looks like something you'd buy in like one of those claw games, at the supermarket, like for a couple quarters. It just looks like cheap metal to me. So hopefully, when they add the gold, it looks significantly better. Who knows? But right now, I agree. It's not looking the best.
Ugly. And then we're not done with promo videos. There's another one after this where they announced.
It's the night of the promos.
Yeah, they announced that Fyter Fest is going to be held live on TNT. So you're not going to have to pay for it, which is nice. And you're not going to have to figure out where to watch it. So I'll say it real quick. You can watch it live. Is that Wednesday? July 11th? July 1st? Really?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. It's July 1st and July 8th.
It's a 2-night event, but it's spread over 2 weeks. July 1 and
it's
July
an extravaganza.
But are you I guess I'm not going to say excited about it because you're just going to say yes. It's pointless to me even ask you if you're excited.
What, about Fyter Fest?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to say you're excited. Why wouldn't you say you're excited?
I mean, it's interesting that they're putting it on live TV. Of course I'm excited about it. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, of course you were.
You're not excited about it?
I can't stand up still, obviously.
Is JR still peeking around back there?
He's like looking at you from a side view. He said he loves your haircut. Your haircut looks great. Looks like you're stuck from the 70s or the 80s.
Thanks,
Actually, the 80s.
I did it myself.
When did you start feathering your hair, though? I need a little juice in my mouth right now. My throat is getting dry. A parched aid.
Yeah, I definitely.
I'm from Carmel, Indiana.
I definitely need a haircut. I definitely got the quarantine growth going on. But you know what? I look at it like, why not save the money while I can,
You're making more money than you ever did on unemployment, aren't you?
Yeah. Now that I'm not getting haircuts, I'm swimming in money.
All right. Next, we actually had a match. Why don't you tell us about what happened after?
We finally have a match.
Let me just look to my notes.
Oh, sorry, I was skipping your notes. So this was Big Swole and Nyla Rose, correct?
Oh, I thought it was the Colt. No, it was the Colt Cabana versus Chris.
Oh, Jericho. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. I apologize.
That match, they did the Colt Cabana Jericho match at like the 10 p.m. 10 p.m.
Yes,
no, 9
yes.
p.m. 9 p.m.
This match, honestly, I thought was pretty good. Like, I really liked this match. Colt Cabana obviously he's been great for years. Him and Jericho, I thought would be. Don't make that. What do you mean?
You've never seen
Colt Cabana?
You've never seen a Colt Cabana match in your life. I think when he was in WWE when CM Punk called him out in his place.
I've seen a few Ring of Honor matches with him. Come on. I have an old VHS collection of Colt Cabana. Tell JR to take a walk somewhere.
JR's like, I'm drink. I just want to see your beard. Anyways, so Colt Cabana, let's talk about. So you didn't even tell. So Jericho won.
Sorry, no, I was talking. So anyway, Jericho ends up winning. It's interesting though. Cabana actually started out very strong in this match. He started out with all the offense. It wasn't until Jake Hager pushed him off the top rope and got involved in a few times that Jericho, and then even then. Cabana was on the offensive, and then Jericho just hit him out of nowhere with the Judas effect and picked up the win. He immediately grabs the microphone and calls out the baddest man, quote, the baddest man on the planet, which brings out Orange Cassidy. Yeah, very comical segment here. Pretty funny. What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it when he put Jericho's hands in his pockets, like so that it mimicked what Cassidy does. I thought that was pretty funny. And then Cassidy ended up escaping, and the best friends like pulled him over the railing. The one thing I wrote down is Colt got a. Why do I hear myself, Tolly?
Oh, sorry.
We're low. You might have to lower your volume a little bit. but that's okay. They were professionals, right?
Exactly.
Better. So Colt ended up getting a little cut on the mouth. That's what I ended up noticing. And that you don't, because the reason I say this is because you don't see a lot of blood, if any, on WWE, or if they do, they cut it out. So it was nice to see a little bit of realism in the with the blood.
I was actually surprised with that. Yeah, when was the last? I can't remember the last time we saw blood on, WWE, like on,
Yeah, I don't remember. Big Swole versus Nyla Rose, which this is the first women's match of the night, right? I think it was the only one, right?
Yes, it was the only one. They probably could have left this off the card and just given us a few more promos. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't. I actually like Big Swole, and I thought this match would have been a little bit better. It just, I don't know. It just kind of fell flat to me. It never.
I only like some of the AEW themes, like wrestler themes. I think that's actually a weak part of their show, is that the themes aren't that great. There's a few I like, but Big Swole, I actually like her theme. It's like catchy,
Really, I actually like most of the themes. Shocker here. This is something we disagree on, but I like most of the themes.
I don't like Dustin Rhodes' theme. I think it's boring.
Is that
the one that I like.
Marshall, it's okay.
I like Cody's. I like the Young Bucks. I like Jericho's. I like
Bros?
Orange Cassidy's. Lucha Bro.
You're not a big rap guy. You're not a big rap guy, though.
I guess I like, maybe I like more than half, actually. I don't know. I just feel like I like more of the WWE NXT ones.
Do you like Omegas?
It's okay.
Yeah. Honestly,
I can take it or leave it.
I thought they could have given him a little bit better of a theme, considering everybody else's themes are so awesome. I feel like his is just
his friend. Well, I think he likes it. His friend created that one for him, who's a musician.
Yeah, no, and
he did a story on it.
It's not bad, but like it takes a few seconds to kind of like realize it's him coming out. Like,
it's just not super. It's not super catchy. Like, what's weird about him?
He needs like Justin Roberts at the beginning, like introducing him, like right off the bat, because you don't know it's him until like 30 seconds until his song hits.
I feel like Kenny Omega's like he was such a. Again, I didn't watch a lot, if any, New Japan. I didn't follow him. I think when he was I believe he was in ROH a little bit, but I didn't really follow his career. But I would always see that and hear in the wrestling news, like he's wrestler of the year. He's amazing. He's this and that. But I feel like, and I still think he can live up to that. I just feel like he hasn't, and they don't push him that way. He almost seems like kind of like a mid-carder to me, which is kind of weird because he's not. He's amazing, but I feel like in AEW he hasn't really lived up to what he should be. I think out of all the guys they've brought in. Sorry, real quick. I think out of all the four major guys, or the 4 or 5 major guys teams that they have, I feel like Cody's really the guy. Cody and Jericho are the really ones that have like stood out, and like they seem like the biggest. And it's funny. Well, Jericho's not champ anymore, but like those two guys seem like the biggest stars that have and the best that have popped out so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Those. I would definitely agree with that. I mean, what's crazy though? I meant to tell you this. I have a friend who is Japanese, but he doesn't really watch wrestling at all. And I told him that, we were doing this podcast, and I asked him, I was like, do you know any of these New Japan pro wrestler, any of these guys from New Japan? And he was like, yeah, Kenny Omega. And I was like, what? Like, I was shocked that he like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, he's like a household name in Japan. And I'm like, I mean, and I already knew that, but it was shocking to me that he doesn't even watch wrestling and he knew who Kenny Omega was. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know. So it was a little surprising to me, but pretty cool though. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if he's just okay with being a mid-card guy right now, but he
might be.
He's been putting on great matches still though.
Yeah, he does, but I feel like
they're Daniel Bryan, if you think about it. He's their workhorse, but he doesn't ask for a lot. And if they give him a title, then cool, but he doesn't really care,
Right. And speaking of promos and interviews, we have another one, which again, I'm saying as if I probably sound like I'm bitter or upset, but I'm not. I thought
it does sound like that, but no, you're right. There's just a lot of promos on the show.
Oh, you know what I want to talk about? So tell us about that thing, and I'm gonna search for something else while you do that.
About which is this the
promo?
Is this the Baker promo?
I thought it was FTR.
Oh, yes. I thought this was cool. I'm not sure if this was shot in just like a room somewhere on the complex at Daly's place, but it just looked kind of cool to have them interviewed. Like it almost looked like in like an office lobby, if you will. And it just, I don't know, it made it seem a little bit more, I don't know. It was cool that they took it away from the ring, but made it genuine with Tony being obviously there. And then what I really liked about this promo was Butcher and Blade coming out of nowhere. Like you don't see these kinds of promos in WWE. You know what I mean?
It feels like, and it's funny because this is like old school. I'm not even talking about Attitude Era. I'm talking 1980s WWE. They would do stuff like this. They do it in a studio setting. They do it. It was just so much fun, and like it seemed out of place. And then like they got to the Attitude Era, and I feel like they haven't left it. Like still do the same kind of setup. There's an interview in the beginning, then there's a match, then it's like they haven't changed the format since the 90s, late 90s, and now but AEW is doing all this older stuff that used to be fun, and it still is fun. It's amazing because it feels fresh. So I liked the FTR thing too. They came off as stars, I think, and that's what they're trying to be. One of the big things is I wasn't really totally listening to you, but they were asking what did you say what FTR stands for? Did you mention that?
Oh yeah, no, not yet.
So Tony was like
the substance of the actual substance of their promo.
So Tony Schiavone was like, what is I thought FTR stand for, and they bleep it out, but he basically says fuck the
at the end of the promo. Yeah, at the end of the promo, he's like, doesn't it stand for
fuck the revival? So that was cool. But ultimately they don't give you an answer. They just say free the revolution or follow the rules, like corny stuff. So obviously you probably know it's fuck the revival. And then, but yeah, it was really cool. Butcher and the Blade came out of nowhere, interrupted up the interview. And overall, I thought everyone came off cool. It was, and people ran out of nowhere to make sure they both teams got separated and didn't fight.
I thought this was cool. And it set up a match for them to debut next week on Dynamite, which I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but they will be debuting next week, which that's exciting. Those guys are just going to take an already good tag team division and just elevate it. I'm excited. I don't sound like it, but I'm excited.
I know you are, which is what I love. I love your excitement. Last match of the night. This is the main event. We ended up being Jungle Boy, who's Luke Perry's son, who's now rest in peace. Took
Jungle
on
Boy Jack. Boy, as Jim Ross says, Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
That's old Jungle Boy Jack Perry right there.
We met everybody. We met Jim Ross at AEW.
Very, very nice guy. By the way, anyone who's never met him,
let me tell him the story before you keep cutting me off.
Keep it up.
Ryan, first of all, we're standing in the hotel lobby outside of the Double or Nothing arena the night before the pay-per-view, and we keep seeing all these wrestlers and different people, and Tully's like, Tully, first of all, doesn't see anybody, and I keep calling people out and whatever. So I see Jim Ross,
like the guy you said was from Harry Potter.
Yeah, oh my God, there was a dude that looked exactly like
Daniel Radcliffe, and I was like, that's not Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh my God, it looked exactly like him. But anyways, we ended up seeing Jim Ross. I'm like, JR, or whatever, call him Jim Ross. I think I said JR, can I get a photo? And he's like, make it quick. And thank God I already had my camera ready. I got a nice photo of us.
Yeah, I would not have been ready for sure. We would have lost for sure.
So if you want to see that photo, look on Instagram at Greggles TV, GREGGLES TV. And it's in one of my photos. But anyways,
we're going to get an AEW dude's Instagram, perhaps, so we can maybe put those on there.
So you can not run that too and not post stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. So you can put no photos.
I'm so busy. I'm watching television shows and napping. I don't even know if
this quarantine's got me tired, okay?
Shit, dude. All right, main event. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry versus Cody for the TNT Championship. It was I wouldn't say excellent. It was a very good match.
No, I would say excellent for sure. I put 4 out of 5 stars this match.
I was not excellent. Excellent is basically perfect.
Yeah,
very good. Very good.
Well, but I mean, this match, I mean, I guess it's what you would expect, right? For the TNT title main event, these two guys.
Well, it's cool that they put a little what's the little rub on the TNT Championship, making it the main event of the show, which was
rub it up.
Very good match, great spot through the table for both. Cody was obviously going to pull out the win. It would have been surprised if he won the title and lost it already. I feel like it being such a good match, and obviously it being Cody, and he quote unquote can't ever fight for the world championship. I think at this point that he's probably going to keep this title for a while to really, again, put a little rub on there, a dry rub.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I was thinking, man, that's crazy. We always think the same things. I feel like when we're watching Dynamite, because when I was watching this match, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, Cody will probably have a long, title reign. He'll probably challenge everybody under the sun for that title, but I don't know. He is that guy though that is just consistently, besides Omega, he just consistently puts on good matches. So it's smart for them to keep that title on him and make that title relevant so that it's defended every week. That's one thing that WWE, you could, obviously argue they're not putting titles on the line every week. And that's one thing that AEW, they're obviously going the old school route of, okay, well, it's a TV title, basically. You can call it TNT, you can call it whatever you want, but it's a TV title that's being defended every week. So it's good for the show, and
it's good for the goose. Yeah, good for the gander.
For the goose is good for the gander.
So I wanted to talk about, we usually don't talk about this because I always forget, and we're actually doing the show a day after the live event because you fell asleep. But let's be honest. But I wanted to talk about the ratings real quick. So those have already come out. Then this is AEW Dynamite versus WWE NXT, whatever you want to call it. But AEW Dynamite had 730,000 viewers, and that was down 11% versus last week, versus WWE NXT, which got 715,000 viewers, and that was down just 2%. But overall, AEW did pull out the win again in ratings. I think they've only lost 3 times or something like that. They were 27th place in the 18 to 34 demo. WWE was 45th place. But overall, again, AEW won, but not by a lot. I don't watch NXT ever. Do you watch it?
I sometimes when AEW's on commercial, I'll flip over for a few seconds. I know, right? The Wednesday Night Wars, that's what they're for. No, but honestly, every once in a while I flip over. Most of the time I forget. So at least NXT, of the 3 shows, NXT is probably the best, followed by SmackDown. Yeah. Raw has just been unwatchable, but we won't get into that. Yeah. I actually wanted to ask you, Greg, I don't know how you feel about this. I was thinking this the other day. We could do a segment here where every week we pick what we would think would be the MVP of that week's show. So whoever you thought stood out. So it could be a tag team, it could be a singles wrestler. Just who do you think won the week for Dynamite?
I'll let you go first.
This week, I was gonna go with last week. I would say Jericho. This week, I want to go with Orange Cassidy, but I have to go with Cody for the win in the main event.
I would go probably, honestly, with let me just look to the notes real quick. I'd go with Jungle Boy. He came off strong. He still keeps losing the big match, but you feel like he's almost there. Yeah. I guess I'd go with Jungle Boy. But Cody's a great pick.
That's a good choice, though. I like that. All right.
It's a great choice. But anyways, guys, that is the episode for this week. We'll be back next week again for AEW Dynamite. Any last words, Ryan?
Nope. I hope everybody has a good week, and we will talk to you next week. Or I will talk to you guys with the news this weekend.
All right, guys. See you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. If you want to email us, aewdudes@gmail.com. We'll see you in the next one.